Ladies and gentlemen, we want you to stand and we want you to make some noise.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go 3 abreast.
It is show time at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You got them for a breath. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the world of outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
Hello again. It is MRN's Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires and by Grunt Style. We are so glad you joined us. Talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week. Steve Poston sitting in for Erin Evernham, who is making her way back from Jackson through Indianapolis. I think there's a vintage race there that Ray is competing in this weekend. Ashley Stremme's alongside. How are you?
I'm great. Glad to be here.
Oh, it's good to have you here.
How was Jackson?
Oh, my gosh. I don't even know where to begin. This is a 30-minute show. We could talk 2 hours about how good Jackson was. Phenomenal facility, phenomenal event, phenomenal radio shows, phenomenal sprint car fans. I am telling you, Jackson Motorplex and Todd Quering and Doug Johnson and everyone in there, and they are hitting on all 10 cylinders on their 8-cylinder engine. It's unreal.
Really,
It is
really
unreal.
Cool.
World of Outlaws put on a great show. Even despite a little rain, it was a phenomenal 3 days up in Jackson, Minnesota. I just love that trip. We could not have had any more fun. I'm telling you, it just you just sit back and it's like literally when I arrived in Charlotte on Sunday, my jaw hurt and I'm like, what in the world's going on? I said, I've been laughing and talking and just smiling and having a good time. It was phenomenal.
That's awesome. It's been really cool to see everything that they've done out there and just to hear how the racers have really talked about the place as well.
Really great. The 40th annual Jackson Nationals, and we're going to talk a little bit to Donny Schatz, our race winner, about that. This used to be one of the marquee events, and then 8 years ago, it wasn't one of the marquee events. I think it's getting back to that stage. It's great. So it really is a great weekend. Just so much fun. Hey, you can check out wingnation.com. We got a couple of vlogs on there with some off-track shenanigans. Yeah, Erin
Erin was impressive, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, she flipped, exactly. So you can check that out at www.wingnation.com. Our Sage Fruit guest list, we mentioned Donny Schatz and Carson Macedo won 2 All-Star races across the weekend up in upstate New York. Time now for our classic ink screen printing and embroidery hot topics. This one here made my weekend. Friday night, Outlaw Speedway, All-Star Circuit of Champions, 966 days, but Paul McMahon back to victory lane.
Absolutely phenomenal. That 13 car, I know they call it the Misfits Club
yes.
for what they're doing there with the 13, but they were fast in Volusia. They've been fast all year long. Just phenomenal to finally see them put it all together to get that win.
Put it together and get the win, and Paul's just one of our favorite people on the planet. And
I see his travels are still,
okay, so
his
we're
traveling
back.
experience
yes,
is still the
exactly.
same.
He had a disaster yesterday getting back home. He's got a real job now.
Yes.
I still need to find out about this real job.
Quick car. He told us. Quick car. He works for Quick Car
exactly.
now.
I know, exactly.
Okay.
But just getting a real job. I don't understand all of that. No, I understand it totally. But so all is right with the world. He's in victory lane and he's having travel issues. The world is now right.
It's true.
The world is now right. Donny Schatz won the big one up at Jackson, but I am telling you, Jason Johnson let everybody know he was there. Won both preliminary shows and finished second on Saturday night in the big one. The Ragin' Cajun, we had him on Thursday night on our Wing Nation Live show up there, presented by the Minnesota Mafia, and he said, man, I need to win. 48 hours later, he was sitting there with a pair of them and about a three-peat.
Almost at their one, yeah.
So Jason Johnson, very hot. I am really interested in what's going on in Pennsylvania. And we know rain has decimated the schedule. The only thing that's consolation when we look at the Posse versus the Outlaws is rain has decimated the Outlaws too. But I have a sense that there's a couple of teams in Pennsylvania that are starting to, for lack of a better phrase, get their poop in a pile. I think Danny Dietrich has been fast all along. And he showed again with the All-Stars. He was quick all along the way.
Yep.
Brock Zierfoss, that car flies. He has no luck at all. If you put Brock Zierfoss race car with Paul McMahon's travel schedule, you got him together. Zierfoss just rolls. We know Lucas is good. We know Lance Deweese is good as well. But what really steps out to me is quietly Greg Hodnett is no longer running in the top 10. He's spending a lot more time in the top 5 and even the top 3. Second at BAPS on Thursday night. He won at Williams Grove. Second with the All-Stars at Stateline. He was all over Macedo. And he had a rough early night at Weedsport, but rallied back to a 6th-place finish. Hodnett's starting to get it together, and looks like he's going to be fast here as we go along.
Yeah, no doubt. It's been odd for him to kind of be where he's been this year, but hopefully he's gotten himself some Oreo cookies. Some other things along the way to go with that win.
And if you care to find out what we're talking about, just go back to Wing Nation and go back to our Port Royal show where Greg joined us. We talked about many, many things, including double-stuffed Oreo cookies and winning races. So
that was just the mild part of things.
Yes, indeed, it was. So Hodnett's getting fast. I think that's one of our hot topics. And finally, Amarillo, Texas, he is hashtag still winning. Sammy Swindell, Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour win.
I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal what he's still doing.
I know.
Still
it's
winning.
just still winning. So Sammy Swindell is hashtag still winning. That is it. Your Classic Ink screen printing and embroideries hot topics. Classic Ink, great for hats, t-shirts, hoodies, towels, and a whole lot more for racing teams, other sports teams, corporate events, church events, your local groups. Check them out at www.classicinkusa.com. When we come back, the winner of the 40th annual AGCO Jackson Nationals, Donny Schatz. He joins us next.
For over 50 years, drivers in sprint car, midget, micro, modified, and even dirt late model have taken the checkered flag on Weld Racing Wheels. Legendary drivers like Joe Saldana, Carl, Mark, and Steve Kinzer, Doug Wolfgang, and countless other racers have trusted Weld Racing Wheels for their superior strength and lightweight construction to finish ahead of the competition. With 50 years of race-winning engineering and technology, American-made Weld Racing Wheels are designed and built to withstand virtually any abuse you throw at them. Weld Racing. Proven speed.
Aggressive Hydraulics, where we engineer the cylinders that move your business. We specialize in designing and manufacturing purpose-built, application-specific hydraulic cylinders with superior precision and performance, making OEM products stronger, crafting cylinders that operate on a global basis in a wide variety of industries and applications. Get aggressive with your cylinder challenges. AggressiveHydraulics.com.
O'Reilly. When it comes to safety, nothing is more important than your vehicle's brakes. If it's hard to stop or you hear squealing or grinding noises during braking, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts. You'll find the brake parts you need from trusted brands like Brake Best and Brake Best Select at everyday low prices. Play it safe with brakes from O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi, I'm Kerry Madsen, and you're listening to Wing Nation.
It is MRN's Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Glad you joined us. Let's go to the Weld Racing Hotline. Joining us fresh off that trip to Victory Lane, the 40th annual AGCO Jackson Nationals, Donny Schatz is on the line. Hello, Donny. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Hey, Steve.
Great.
Long time no talk.
I know. This has been like all Donny Schatz all the time. We chatted with you at Port Royal. We chatted with you a couple times this weekend at Jackson, including our champagne toast after we got done. So great time, great fun up there. Donny, I want to get your perspective on this. We kind of put our arms around this Jackson Nationals, but and we spent a lot of time talking about the history of it, the 40th running of it and everything else. But I'm a guy that has about 8 years tied into the sprint car world. You're a guy that's lived in the upper Midwest. Your reaction when you got out of the car was like, damn, I just won the Jackson Nationals. How big is that race? How important is that win to you? And to see this event start to get reestablished as one of the big ones?
Well, it takes a lot of effort to try to reestablish an event like the Jackson Nationals. You know, it's went back and forth from 360 to 410 to, throughout all the years. But a place that I grew up racing, every now and then, that was kind of a Saturday night stomping ground. Either you went to Cedar Lake or Jackson, back in a lot of history. There was a lot of racers from that area that were really good and had a lot of laps around there. So to be able to go back there and for the fans, for the racers, for everyone. So to see what those guys have done, just keep building is it's absolutely incredible, and words can't describe what it is. And anybody that hasn't been there needs to make that trip out there to make sure they catch next year's Jackson Nationals.
It truly is incredible what Todd and his guys are doing out there and how beautiful the facility is now. Unfortunately, one day got rained out, so they put it in on Saturday to make the best of both worlds. I want to know, as a racer, Donny, on racing back-to-back 2 races in a day like that, sure, it's very long and tiresome, but does it help you really hone in on your car and kind of give you a feel of what the track's going to do throughout the day since you're going to put more laps on it?
Absolutely it does. But it can also put you in a really bad position. You know, the weather was an absolute nightmare for any promoter, and they wanted to get all 3 shows in for themselves, for the fans, for the racers, and they did it. The way it worked out, you know, Friday night show, and then Saturday afternoon, and then Saturday night, should somebody have a problem, a blown motor or this or that, it just could have made havoc for the crews, and I think most people made it through without dilemma and problems. But, yeah, that's what it took us. I mean, we rolled into Jackson with a brand-new race car and a brand-new motor combination, and we were off the chart the first 2 races, and it took us that time frame to be able to get things worked out and be able to get decent on Saturday night. And at the gym this morning, my trainer told me it was him that got them 2 races in one way that got me to victory lane on Saturday. So I got to give credit to a little bit of everybody.
Great team effort, that's for sure. Donny, I actually chatted with you at some point over the course of the weekend, and you're right, we talked so many times, I don't even know when and where this was, but, you know, I asked you about the physical strain of running 2 races in one day, and I know you're with the trainer, and you really work on your physical fitness, but the mental strain of it, and then the emotion of getting a win at Jackson. When you get done with a long day like that, is there just a release that it's over and you can just chill and veg? What is the mental strain on kind of day like that, and then they ultimately getting the win?
Well, I think the win cures all mental strains that you have, or, you know, anytime you run good, you have that. But there are nights when, yeah, you feel like you're beat up mentally, physically, just tired. It depends. You know, sometimes rainouts do more to a person mentally than what you think. So, yeah, I'm glad that if we were going to have 2 shows in one day, it ended ideal for us. Maybe not so well for some, but man, we got all 3 days in, and just worked out great.
Donny, what I love about you is you've put your mark on the sprint car world for sure. There's no doubt about that. But you're not a gloater. You go out and you let your racing do the talking. But is there an ultimate goal for you? You're 3rd on the win list. Is that something that you think about? You know, you kind of take into consideration what you've accomplished over the years. And is there an ultimate goal for Donny Schatz?
Well, my goal when I was a kid was to just be a part of the Outlaws, be, you know, outlaw caliber driver. And obviously them goals have got more refined over the years. You know, you want to win races, and you want to win championships. And I want to be competitive. You know, I'm 40 years old. You know, I've been here a long time. I hope I can continue to be healthy and stay here a long time. When it comes to them, where I'm at on the win list, you know, it might have been in grass before they changed the way all that was, you know, with prelims and what have you. That doesn't really make a big deal to me. I mean, I want to be able to stay competitive, and I think anybody that races loves it. You know, I love racing. I love being a part of it, and as long as I continue to have fun and be competitive, I think that's the ultimate goal, and I'm going to continue to stay on that path.
Path is working pretty well, that's for sure. Donny, final question before we cut you loose here. Home state races, Friday night, the little bull ring at River City Speedway. Sunday, I believe it is, up at Nodak Speedway. First and foremost, it's got to be weird for you to be close to home racing, and kind of probably is pretty nice to have a few home games.
Well, I get home a lot, so I'm very fortunate that way. But when we get racing up this way, it's really crazy. All the teams are up here, and, you know, you got Shane Stewart wants his motorhome serviced, and Sheldon Hodshield's looking for tires, and Pittman wants somebody to polish his wheels, and, you know, it's crazy. It seems like when the races at home are over, you're glad because everybody's leaving, and you don't feel like you're going 100 different directions. But it does, you know, it is really neat to be able to sleep in your own bed and roll into the racetrack that night, see all the people and all the fans and all the family, and, you know, people from the kart track. It's just it's kind of a surreal moment. It's like going to the Knoxville Nationals for me. Everybody's conglomerated in one place, and we're all going to have a great time. But then you got that Sunday hangover. It's all done. You like all that limelight, and boom, it's gone. So back to reality. But we're going to enjoy it this weekend while we can.
Does sound like a great time, that's for sure. I added your name to a T-shirt. The Jackson Nationals win this past weekend, and I know there's likely more wins along the way, maybe even this weekend in the home state. Donnie, always a pleasure to chat with you. Best of fortunes this week, and I know we'll talk down the road, but thanks for joining us here today on Wing Nation.
Thank you, guys.
There we go. Donny Schatz is here on the program. What can you say? I mean, it's just what he's doing, what he's carving out, what he's creating is something that is impressive. Mm-hmm. And it's just, if you're a fan of excellence, there's times when it's just fun to watch.
Oh, absolutely. It's amazing what he's accomplishing right now, and we're watching it. And, he said he's not going to hit that Steve Kinzer mark with wins now that they've reconfigured everything. But I also feel like the competition that he's racing with week in and week out is probably tenfold what it was back then. So it's remarkable what he's done.
Amazing to watch that man wheel a race car. Let's step away because another driver that had an amazing season, a youngster from California, driving for a team from Ohio, racing in upstate New York, Carson Macedo. He joins us next.
Sage Fruit is a high-quality grower, packer, and shipper of Washington State apples, pears, and cherries. Sage Fruit believes in sprint car racing. Sage Fruit has been a proud sponsor of sprint cars for the last 15 years and a proud partner of Wing Nation for the last 3 years. We love sprint car racing, and we are there for our sprint car fans. Sage Fruit works hard to deliver an exceptional eating experience. We value our relationship with sprint car fans and appreciate your continued support of Sage Fruit. Ask for Sage Fruit at your local grocer.
Citywide to countryside, whatever you drive, wherever you go. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
The American Sprint Car Series is back for its 27th year. Whether you're catching the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour at tracks like Williams Grove, Skagit Speedway, Knoxville Raceway, Lucas Oil Speedway, or any of the 6 regional tours across the United States, you'll find the ASCS Nation racing at a track near you. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram today. Then see the full schedule, track-by-track history, updates, and more at ASCSRacing.com.
Find Wing Nation on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and in the MRN.com Media Center.
We are having a ball. Glad you joined us here. It's MRN Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Let's go right back to the Weld Racing Hotline. Joining us fresh off from not one, but 2 trips to Victory Lane. One at Stateline on Saturday night and Weedsport on Sunday. Carson Macedo joins us. Hello, Carson. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Hey, guys. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
What a weekend, my man. You were looked like you had that car rolling pretty good.
Yeah, I can't take all the credit for that. My team obviously gave me a really good race car all weekend. Joe Gertie, Tim Norman, Cindy Norman, they get my car really good. And, these all-star races, so many good competitors now and full-time guys. And even, people that come in just to race for the weekend, like Greg Hodnett and Danny Dietrich and a few others to name. But, yeah, so to be able to pick up 2 wins, it's pretty incredible. Really happy for this team.
It's really awesome, and it kind of starts the ball rolling into Speed Weeks here starting. Does this give you kind of a better feel for where your race car is at, kind of give you a little bit more confidence rolling into the next 9 days of racing?
Yeah, we got a lot of busy times coming up. It's a really exciting part of the year for a driver. For the crew, I don't know, I try and help them as much as possible, but 9 days straight, that sometimes I don't know if they get too excited about that. But anyway, yeah, it's anytime you can get some momentum rolling on your side and just get, the team clicking like that right before a week like Speed Week is really important. A lot of races in a row, a lot of things could change in a week of that many races, so we just have to be prepared. Doing a lot of work in the shop, this week to be where we need to be so that we're ready for the weekend. And the week and obviously the weekend after that, we pretty much raced. I think it's 9 days in a row. It's not like the 9 races, 9 days. So we're really excited and, just happy to have some momentum on our side going into it.
Carson Macedo joins us here on the program. Carson, I do want to step back to your weekend of racing up in upstate New York, Stateline Speedway and Weedsport. When I was following along and watching those races, I think I watched I watched the replays, the videos, but I followed along some on Race Monitor. You had two really different races. On Saturday night, you had one of the top drivers in the sport, Greg Hodnett, all over you. And then on Sunday night, you had no one within 7 seconds of you at all. Can you just describe a little bit the challenges of both of those situations?
Yeah, so I never really have raced in New York. I've been through New York. I drove for a team out of New York, Trey Hoddick. I actually went to Canada and ran the Canadian Nationals for him. And so there were new tracks for me and for the 3G team. They had never been there either, so we really didn't know what to expect. We got the Stateline on Saturday night, and the track was really different. I mean, it was just real long straightaways, really tight little corners, and real flat. So we made a lot of adjustments throughout the night to the race car to be good there, and try and get our car good. So early in the race, I got the lead and was kind of pacing my way through traffic, running the top, and just trying to change with the racetrack. And Greg obviously showed me a nose, and I mean, I know Greg, level of talent, and that team's very good. So just to be able to race side by side with him was really cool, and pull away and get the win, and then to turn around on Sunday night and kind of do the same thing. It was awesome. The track there at Weedsport Sunday night, it was incredible. It was really slick early in the night, and then they watered it right before the feature, so we were kind of all running the fence. And I guess being from California, running Tulare a lot and places like that, running the fence is definitely something that I like to do. So, it was good. I don't think they could have done a better job.
You mentioned California and racing out there. Has there been any learning curves or adjustments that you've had to actually make coming to these tracks that you haven't seen compared to the West Coast and East Coast racing?
Yeah, probably just, you guys have, in the Midwest, Ohio, Pennsylvania, all these places have really hot weather conditions in the summer. And the tracks just get so slick, and a lot of the times, like, places like Attica, they just get so slick and blown off. They really, a lot of the times, don't even have a cushion or anything to lean on. So I guess that's probably been my biggest adjustment. At home, our tracks get slick, but we always have something to lean on, it seems like. We always have a cushion or something like that. So I guess when you're young and you're growing up out there, you just try and run the cushion as hard as you can, and that usually can get you by. But when you get back here, you find out quick that just doesn't always work. So, you have to have a really good race car to do it, and that's what I'm thankful for with the 3G team. But just learn to have a little bit more throttle control, be more patient. You see the guys back here that win all the big races, all the big money-paying races, they are all good in the slick. Donny, Lance DeWeese, Greg Hodnett, all these guys, Danny Dietrich, they're all good in the slick, and that's where the big races are won, because usually by the end of the night, the guy that saved his tires enough and that has enough at the end and that can be good in the slick wins. So I guess that's been my biggest adjustment.
Big adjustment, but winning at Weedsport, winning at Stateline, looks like you're making that transition well. Carson, we appreciate the time joining us. Congratulations on the wins. Get some sleep, get some rest, get whatever you need to get ready. Tell the crew guys to do the same. You're getting ready to get busy, but thanks for the time joining us here on Wing Nation.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Carson Macedo, man, the young talent in our sport's phenomenal. He's one of the best. That kid's got a huge future.
He does. Oh, absolutely, 100%.
He wheel a race car, that is for sure. Hey, let's step away. When we come back, more of Wing Nation.
O'Reilly.
Save on your next oil change with 5 quarts of Castrol GTX high mileage motor oil and a MicroGuard filter on sale now for the same price as Castrol Conventional at $25.99. Plus, get a $5 O'Reilly gift card by mail. Improve engine performance with Castrol at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum is proud to open the Bryan Clauson Suite Tower in 2018. Located next to the museum, it's a testament to the sprint car community's commitment to honor Bryan Clauson's legacy while helping the museum sustain financial stability into the future. To donate to the Bryan Clauson Suite Tower and help cover construction costs, visit bcforever.com or call the museum directly at 800-874-4488. Bring your friends by the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum next time you visit Knoxville.
Looking for custom racewear and embroidery? Do you want your race fans to represent your race team with trendy original apparel? Contact Classic Inc. USA, the new standard in custom screen printing and embroidery. Located in Greater Pittsburgh, Classic Inc. USA's professional staff utilizes state-of-the-art facilities to transform your ideas into an attractive wearable piece. From custom track swag racewear to trendy quick crew wear, Classic Inc. handles it all. Find out how you can get started. Contact Classic Inc. USA screen printing and embroidery at the track and on your back.
Hi, I'm Jeff Gordon, and now back to Wing Nation.
Thank you, Jeff. Welcome back. It is MRN's Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires, right on our strength. Time to look at our National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum birthday calendar. Today's birthday, Albert Pappy Booker. Friday, Johnny Anderson, Bryan Clauson would have had a birthday on Friday. Joe Scalzo, J.C. Agajanian, Buzz Gregory, Ron Basile on Saturday as well. Monday, Danny Wood, the Flying Fossil, Billy Alley, one of our favorite guests, okay? And Monday was the birthday of Dwayne Poncho Carter, a 1991 inductee into the Sprint Car Hall of Fame. Actually, he was born in 1950 in Racine, Wisconsin, on a race trip. His dad was a racer, and they were going to the Milwaukee Mile, and he was born somewhere along the way on that trip.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, how about that?
Especially the Milwaukee Mile.
Yes, indeed, the historic Milwaukee Mile. 1972 USAC Midget Champ. 1974 and 76 USAC Sprint Car Champ. Had a crash in 1977 that left one leg disabled, and yet he still climbed aboard a sprint car and won, and actually went on to win a kart race. He didn't run road courses after that injury in the champ car, but he went on even after the injury. Tremendous driver, tremendous legend, doing well, I guess. Born in 1950, so doing a little ciphering. That makes him 68 years old on Monday. Happy birthday to Dwayne Poncho Carter. Just all part of the stories you can find. Turn number 2 at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum right there on the famed Marion County Fairgrounds in Knoxville, Iowa. Racing tonight, the Sizzlin' Summer Speed Weeks. And I think that's the first time I've ever got that one out without stumbling over my S's. The Sizzlin' Summer Speed Week continues for the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour. They're at the famed Devil's Bowl Speedway. Our buddies Racing Boys have the coverage. And saw this morning, and in all honesty, this really set me back. Tom Book, of course, we talk about the Misfits. They won the race Friday night. He tweeted this morning, it's hard to believe it's been 5 years today that we lost Jason Leffler. Miss him. I remember that night so well. It was a Wednesday night leaving MRN, got a call from our news reporter that there'd been a bad crash in New Jersey. And did I know anybody there? And soon we found out that we had lost Left Turn, Jason Leffler. Yeah. And what a racer he was on the NASCAR side. Got to spend time with him over there. Yeah. And then he was right back into a sprint car passion. An amazing thing. They have a big charity race. Charlie Dean, of course, getting to be quite the young man, I'm sure. And but we really do. So I really appreciate. I love Tom Book. He is just one of the coolest guys, and I appreciate the fact that he's back fielding cars. When you have that, it was in Tom's car. Yeah. And when you have that, Tom took a little time off. And it's so good to have Tom back fielding cars. I know Paul McMahon's happy because they won the race. Right. But our thoughts and prayers and just everyone in the racing family as we mourn the 5-year anniversary. Boy, that doesn't seem possible that we lost Jason Leffler. So definitely the family and the racing family. Toast one high for Jason Leffler along the way here this week. 5 years ago today is when we lost Jason. Coming up on the Aggressive Hydraulics calendar on Thursday, Aaron Wright's going to join us on the Wing Nation weekend presented by Hefner Racing Products. And Kyle Hurst joins us on Saturday. Boy. Oh, a little California boy. Kyle Hurst joins us, and we're going to find out what's going on with him, the family, the dogs, and everything else. But for now, we got to say goodbye. We appreciate Donny Schatz and Carson Macedo for joining us here on MRN's Wing Nation.
Wing Nation has been brought to you by Hercules Tires and by Grunt Style. Wing Nation can be found on demand at mrn.com, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Wing Nation is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.